the second one of the day. We are going to speak about video surveillance, video protection, and I'm here with three guests to speak about those subjects. We are going to speak also about not only video protection, video surveillance, but what we can do today with all the technology involved. So I'm pleased to welcome Mr. Eric Moncet from Thales. I'm pleased also to welcome Mr. Sylvain Wolfo from Asset Securities and TKH, yeah. and Mr. Sylvain Le Chaton from M2M companies. So we are going to speak about that, but maybe before we start the discussion, I would like maybe to introduce yourself a little bit more, and especially what you do in your company.
Okay, good morning. So I'm Eric Moncet. I'm in charge for Thales, which is a large system integrator. I'm in charge to develop and to deploy the projects in the field of the citizen security, and particularly the video protection for urban security.
So urban security is a big deal for Thales, because we know that you have a lot of references through the world, so we are going to speak about big system over there. Mr. Sylvain Wolfo?
Yeah. Hello, so Sylvain Wolfo, I'm in charge of the system department at HCFDC Security. So TKH Group, it's a European group manufacturer of CCTV system, from the camera to the management and analytic subject. We will talk about that, I guess. And also for access control system and security management software. So supply to system integrators, okay, in some vertical and critical infrastructure.
And you are based in Netherlands?
Alors, the group is based on Netherlands, but with a branch in France.
In France.
I'm working.
Mr. Sylvain Le Chaton?
I am Sylvain Le Chaton. I am the owner of the company M2M Factory, 24 people. Our business is to provide mobility system for the task force on the field. A big specialty for the mobility, from the acquisition to the transmission and centralization of all the video system.
Okay, so the topic of our video talk is what trends, what's new in this world. So we are going first to speak about maybe a little bit of technology. So we have seen since a couple of years a large increase of video surveillance, not only through the networks, but we can say, and you will tell me that the IP system is now all over. We will speak about HD, and I would like to ask a first question regarding what we have. Unfortunately, those few days with all these terrible event in Paris, the use of the video surveillance, for instance, in investigations. Often, the video surveillance was not very useful because you couldn't recognize the people, the quality was poor, and so on. So, could we say today that all that is a past, or regarding the numbers of cameras that we have in the world, how long it will take to move from I would say, the standard quality to high quality. So the question of quality, I would like to get your advice for what we can expect, what is the delivery today, and how we can expect to get very nice big networks fully equipped.
Yeah, so in terms of quality of the sensors themselves, the quality is even better now. But it's not only the quality of the sensor, which is important in the fact that we are able to use after the video. You mentioned also that the quality of the network must be very accurate and secured in order to be sure that the integrity of the video is kept during all the transfer, and of course after you have the quality of the software which are going to be used to analyze the video streams and to help the operator to manage all these video. And there is also another point which is very important, that is if you have a very good system, the maintenance tasks are also very important in order to guarantee that, for instance, the equipment is clean. And so you don't have any dust on the camera, which will compromise all your system.
Okay, so the end-to-end, I would say, quality system is a challenge. That's your approach as well?
Yes, of course. Now, regarding the old time with analog system, the IP needs a really old chain, complete and with a good maintenance. At least I think now we switch from the analog to the IP. Why? Because network, of course, but also mainly because of resolution of camera on the field. And this high resolution allow now for the system to get more capacity to have good evidence, good playback, and good VCA analytic, which was not allowed with analog system. So for us, we believe that the IP is to move to a very high quality of image.
The digital systems allows also a mobile system, which was almost impossible before. It's really a new trend in the video surveillance.
Yeah, in fact, with the IP, with analog system, the problem was you can use the video only in a local area. With the IP, you have no limits. But we continue to use analog system because when you need to integrate very little camera, the analog are always the best one. So we have to do a choice between to have the camera on the best location possible because the camera is very near from the area to monitor, or the IP system with a very high definition, and we will focus only on a little area with the HD system. But for example, our software is totally based on IP. So when we hide a camera in a car, for example, it could be an analog camera, but we immediately encode the video, the analog video to IP and to provide an IP information to the server.
Alors, the digitization allows not only to get compressed image and to go to the networks and to exchange those images in real time, but it also allows to have a couple of other information with the video. Not only the time, of course, but also the localization and also some algorithm that can be included either in the camera and in the system. And I would like to get your feeling on the strengths of algorithm for putting in the software, in the camera, where you put it, and what is the use of those algorithms. Do we go for some specific task cameras, or do we go for standard cameras with system behind which are able to manage all that? What is the technological trend on that?
So basically, analytics are software. So the trend now is to put maybe this software very close to the camera, and so in the camera, in order to make the first analytics at very close to the scene in front of the camera, and to avoid to have a large battery of servers in the backend system in order to run all these analytics. So it's a possibility to make some to make some savings because you deport some of the capability in the camera itself. In the contrary, if you do like that, you are not able to change very quickly the analytics you want to do. So you can use this use of analytics very close to the camera if you don't think you will change the analytics very often.
But the camera price, the camera cost is getting down now. Is it good to have different cameras at the same location for doing different things,
yes.
for instance?
What we see is that a camera is not only a camera, it's a sensor as well. And one camera for one function. For example, we could have one camera only to watch, record, and one camera to detect. We can take the example of thermal camera, for example, with analytic, with a very specific technology to make analysis with that. And besides that camera, a camera to see the field. So one equipment on the field for one function. And one, perhaps you can confirm that in your side, and one global management system. So there is a camera on the field, there is a video management system, and there is an interoperability between security systems.
So it's a very important point regarding the interface between the, I would say, the cameras and the video surveillance system and other security system. And if we speak, for instance, on facial reconnaissance, I would like to know a little bit more what we can do today with those, as you mentioned, which are more sensors and camera, or at least both, and how we can integrate that, and how you work to integrate finally different software for providing one service, which is, for instance, detection and identification. How it works? Does it is a trend, or the things are still quite superior for the customer today, or do they look for global approach?
I totally agree to have the intelligence as short as possible to the camera.
The sensor.
Yeah. It's very important regarding the CPU you use, and regarding our side, the bandwidth between the camera and between the server. So it's very important. But like there is like a problem today, the software wants to have the intelligence, and the camera wants to have too. So the main problem for us is to be sure that going in the way, for example, I choose this camera, I will not be captive on this technology. So it's very important to have standard API between the software and between the camera, and it's very important that software provider leaves the camera constructor to include software inside the camera. For example, I think it's a TKH camera which integrates the LAPI, the immatriculation.
Automatic.
We have this camera now, and this camera could directly send to our software the information. So just the plate, thank you, and the OCR too. So it's very, and this side is camera side.
Okay, so we see how it works, and we understand technically why you want to put in front the most intelligent system you can find. But I come back to the at the system level, when you want to combine database, for instance, of reconnaissance. We were speaking about plate, but we can speak about face and so on. How this level of integration is possible, and how is it really works, I would say, today?
So it's sure that now we have to manage a lot of metadata coming from the camera itself, the position of the camera, the level of zoom, but also metadata coming from the different analytics. And this metadata constitutes a lot of information you have to manage when you want to replay the sequences and to make an investigation, for instance. So it's very important also to have the software to manage the video stream itself, plus all these metadata. And regarding the metadata, you mentioned previously the face recognitions, and now we have some good solutions which are with better performances, and we have a good demonstration on the Thales stand, where now it's possible to have a good face recognition for some meters, and it provides a very good help for the video manager, for the operators, in order to capture the face of a suspect somewhere in the city or transportation.
In your booth yesterday, I even saw the small watch with
exactly
with the video information for the user coming back
from the system to notify
very impressive. If you are on Milipol, I advise to visit that. It's very trendy. So regarding the big systems, how you manage to work with different companies? And
in fact, this integration based on existing standard. For example, we could say ONVIF for CCTV. It remains a key point in a global project. How to integrate equipment on the field, existing system, coming new systems. So more and more there is a kind of merge between the market of the security and the market of the IT. And even if you are a manufacturer of product, as we are as well, we are a manufacturer of system, of software, and there is more and more commissioning development on each project to make the integration efficient, really efficient, because again, it's a key point in the target to have an efficient system. So the trend on the security market is deeply the technology and the skill to handle this technology.
Alors, we have seen that we have good results now in facial reconnaissance. We have good results in that for quite a long time already on NPR for the plate reconnaissance. It works very well, and I think that the last investigation showed that very well. But in fact, do we have a really good results in the human behavior analysis? Because it's an old subject. People fighting, the leave objects on a key is quite something easy that we have seen for a couple of years now. But really, how you can qualify human behaviors, because I would say that the phantasm is still to have the black screen and to get information only when something happened. And how far are we from that?
So in fact, as it is a very complex problem to explain, you say what is the concept of a fight? Maybe, so the new trend for that is not to try to explain the concept to the machine, but to let the machine learn by itself what is a normal solution and abnormal solutions. And today we find some very good product regarding the self-learning analytics, which are able to record during 3 weeks or 4 weeks of the situations of.
Is it enough 3-4 weeks to get a good feedback of?
Yes, we have some good experiences in the transportation. We have done because so it's during 3 weeks, and there is a learning based on the day of the week and the time of the week also. So the time of the day. So it's no, it provides very good results. So it provides some abnormality in terms of behavior. So it's not always a fight, but sometimes yes. So it provides self-learning algorithms. I think.
So you work on
a very good
technology for.
It's a very big subject, at least.
Yeah.
So you speak about object detection, for example. So it's something quite well managed now. Behavior, we have some algorithms about that, but remains a big work to do on it. But what I want to add is there is another subject behind that, is that now security CCTV system send many datas. Data is numbers, is statistics. So it's also a way to manage the statistic and use it as behavior or some comportamental data. So this new management of metadata, big data, we could say that, it's a trendy word, but in fact it's a new challenge to give also new tools to manage this data coming from security system, for example, the CCTV.
Alors, we, as you mentioned, still a lot of work to do. So that's, I would like to come on the issue of research in this field. We have seen a lot of EU proposal and projects in FP7, H2020, in France, in ANR. A couple of subjects on video surveillance has been, so we have put a lot of money. Does this research helps you to define, or is it really the market which is the big driver for innovation here on video surveillance?
For me, it's the market and the event. We build our product in function of the needs. So for me, it's more the market.
The driver is more the market.
And for your question just before, today I do a difference between the real-time analysis and the post-processing analysis.
Okay.
It's different, and you
forensic, I would say, on one side, and real-time on the other.
You really could do more with forensics. So for last object, live treatment is very possible, but forensics for post-processing is very another way.
But forensic was one of my next question.
Sorry.
So I would like to come back on the research. I mean,
so I think that the European projects and all these kind of projects are very interesting for two things. First is to test the technology, the emerging technology, and sometimes it's quite difficult to test in a real world because the laws are not yet ready
yes.
to deploy it. But these European projects or research projects are a way to set up an experimentation, and we can be in the regulations because it's an experimentation. So we can make an experiment before the regulations. And the second thing, it's a good way also to test the usage and the real added value for the operator, like the transportation operator or the security forces. It's a way also to test the usage before deploying or continuing to develop a specific technology. So it's very interesting for that.
In TKH, you are using a lot, a couple of European projects to drive your innovation?
Yes, sometimes, mainly in Germany, at least, in Netherlands, because we are coming from there. But I agree with Thales. It's a good way to make a validation of the real added value and make the regulation moving in a good way. For example, we spoke about the biometric use we could make with a video system. In French, it's very specific, and the regulation is very strong. So this kind of project, it's a way to move on.
To move forward.
Yeah,
just a word then regarding this kind of legislation. You know that in France, mostly you keep the image 30 days, which is a regulation. Do you think it's enough? Because today, with the cost of the gigabyte on a hard drive, I would say it's we could do more. Do you think that the trend will go to keep longer the video, or to make more analysis, or how you see the trend in this field?
I do believe it's a strong subject. 30 days, it's 30 days. I never heard for ask more than 30 days. I think the point is to how we can use in an efficient way what we store on the hardware, and how we can react as quickly as possible to an event.
So that the analytic software that you were speaking about, and the needs for doing the forensic in a very efficient way. So maybe you can elaborate a little bit on that.
Just before the forensics, sorry, but for me, the video, we need to keep, some video are important and other video are not. So it's important for the team to keep some data very long, for a very long time, and some other data for a short time. And for the short time, we have, yes, the forensics, and forensics is used. Especially if you have an event, you need to use forensics just after the event. So 30 days is enough for that.
Should be enough.
Yes, in fact, in France, in most of the cases, they ask for at least 15 days in order to be sure that you can cover a week vacations, or, for instance, to be sure that you have still the data. But 30 days, sorry, it's enough. The fact is, after you need a lot of people to manage all this video and to try to find what happened.
So you need to...
Yes, and in this case, it's very important to have for the operator a tool which provide them the capability to run post-analytics if necessary, and to select the video they want to use, to track a suspect thanks to the tool and so on. So it's typically the kind of software we developed in order to help all this replay work of the operator. And it's important for the police forces, but also for all the organizations who have lots of cameras, because they have to do the work a little bit before the police in order to select the video and to extract for the police. So they really need this kind of tool to speed their work and to avoid to pass too many times doing that.
Okay. We are going to end our video talk show within a few minutes, but maybe I will have a last questions regarding the integrity of the data in the cyber. We are all now focused and looking at cyber security. Does the word of the video surveillance is different, or you are also very, very involved in the protection of the data all along the process?
Of course, it's very important to secure a video system the same way as an IT system. And when we spoke about the software very close to the camera, it can be also a good way to secure the video streams before going to the system.
So to encrypt from the camera
to encrypt
to the end.
Yes, or at least to watermark in order to guarantee the integrity of the video, which is very important for the video to be used as an evidence in front of the court.
Yes.
So in this case, it's a good way to guarantee the integrity and maybe to encrypt, if necessary, all the video chain from the sensors to the system.
So you include cyber security in all your proposal now? Maybe.
Yes. Yes. In fact, today for the transmission, if it's possible, we encrypt. And what we need today from the video maker, from the camera maker, is to include standards. For example, IPsec. It's necessary to have this standard inside the camera to encrypt the video from the camera to the VMS system.
Same way?
Yes, of course, it's to reach to end-to-end security. So that's what I say now. Security systems, not only CCTV, it's a component of the IT security. So we speak about also the security of the network. So we work more and more with the IT team of end user to make the whole chain full efficient in terms of security. So it's a big challenge.
It's a big challenge. So we will stay on this issue. That cyber is a little bit everywhere when we speak about data and IT. So thank you very much to follow us on this talk on the trends of video surveillance and CCTV. Our new talk this afternoon will be at 3 o'clock in English for the integration of social media and crisis management, and at 2 o'clock in French, the cyber issue will be also presented. So thank you for following us, and from Milipol Paris.